Hello, everyone. Thank you. Great energy. My name is Marcelo Mhish, and I'm the Director of Programs here at Halcyon. I'm really excited to see everyone here to celebrate and help us in supporting yet another group of amazing founders. To get us started, I would like to invite to the stage Carolyn Vigil, who is a great friend of Halcyon. She's the Social Responsibility Impact Leader at Amazon Web Services. But again, apart from that title, she's a great friend of Halcyon, and I'm so proud to invite her to the stage. So put your hands together for Carolyn.
Thank you so much, Marcelo. And thank you to Halcyon and the Halcyon leaders. I've had such a pleasure getting to know each and every one of you and working together on behalf of Amazon Web Services. For the past 6 years, we've worked hand in glove with Halcyon trying to support, well, I shouldn't say trying, we have done it, support innovative founders such as those in the room today from the climate cohort. It's a very deep passion of Amazon's to reach those underserved communities and create social impact. So we've done this continuously for the past 6 years. We're honored to be a part of what's happening here today for the inaugural climate cohort. So on behalf of Amazon Web Services, thank you. Thanks for having me here, each and every one of you. In fact, I'd like to give Halcyon and all the founders a round of applause. That's awesome. So at Amazon, one of our leadership principles, for those of you that are familiar with them, is that success and scale bring responsibility. And that's one of the objectives we have working globally in different communities, and one of the outputs that Halcyon has allowed us to work within. So trying to reach different communities, really to create innovation and to enable businesses to scale, to solve challenges that are being presented worldwide. And there's no more serious challenge than the challenge ahead of us with climate. So again, we thank all of you out there working so hard to make a difference. One of the examples that we have with the team that I'm on is the health equity team, and they've invested in the health equity initiative that brings $60 million of promotional credits to organizations that are working to promote health equity, but particularly looking at health equity opportunities at the nexus of climate. So when there's climate issues that have increased the issues and the delta for health equity. So $60 million, and one example of one of these programs is the Health Electrification Telecommunications Initiative, and that's taking place in sub-Saharan Africa. And basically what this project does is AWS worked hand in glove with USAID to produce a system that would provide analytics and continuous electrical supplies and electrification, sorry, I have trouble with that one, to hospitals within the region. So before this initiative, there was erratic and supportive electrical capabilities. So critical functions like providing oxygen, intensive care units, vaccine refrigeration were very unreliable, which caused more detriment to the region than was necessary. So this particular project has improved that greatly. And then we're expanding on that this next year, and we're going to provide analytics so that the grid is also monitored and continuously running. So that's one example of what we've done on our team. But we also have done a lot just working with the innovators here at Halcyon. So I guess what I'd like to say is, in addition to sharing a little bit about AWS, is I want you to come away from today feeling like you're part of a community. I feel like I'm part of the Halcyon community, and I'm honored to feel that way, and I know several at AWS feel the same way. You're no longer in this venture by yourself. You're shoulder to shoulder with other people like you, with the same mission, the same passion. And one of the magical things that Halcyon does, and I've seen it year over year since 2018, is they create a community with depth and breadth. So if you're out there venturing and you're trying to build your business and you have a hiccup or a question or a problem or an opportunity, You know, you can reach back to Halcyon, the Halcyon community, AWS included, and look for guidance or help or support or someone to help amplify what you're trying to do. So on behalf of AWS, a proud member of the Halcyon community, I want to give each of you a round of applause and say thank you.
Thank you, Carolyn, and I'm back. Okay, everyone. So 2024 marks Halcyon's 10th anniversary. It's an important milestone for us here, and in celebration of that, we looked at the data and we made the intentional and purposeful changes to our program. This includes focusing on 3 main verticals: health, equity tech, and climate. And I'm sure I don't need to explain to anyone in this room why combating climate change is so important. But still, I want to emphasize that the only way that we'll turn away from the destructive trajectory that we've been on is through bold ideas and big risks. This cohort of fellows here embodies this approach very well. Their ventures are beacons of hope and tangible solutions to environmental crisis. And we are witnessing the effects of climate change more frequently. Events once considered rare are happening many times in just a few years. For that reason, I want to thank the fellows for being brave enough to take action and make the world a better place for their communities and for all of us. Being an entrepreneur can be a lonely journey, so we are thrilled to provide them with a community of like-minded individuals that are driven, that they can share that journey. If they're here with us, just for a few months or longer, once they join our alumni community, they get to experience what it's like being with like-minded people that are also trying to make a change. Speaking of support, we could not help these founders without the help of many that are here today. So I want to thank the Halcyon team for their hard work every day. Thank you very much. And that gets us to these beautiful celebrations at the end of these cohorts. I would also like to thank our sponsors, Deloitte, AWS, and Goodwin, which is our legal partner for this group. Your support is essential to fighting climate change through entrepreneurship. I would also like to recognize our board and honorary board. I see many of our members here. Thank you very much. We very proud of having you on our corner and fighting these important issues. Lastly, I would like to do something that we tell our fellows to do every time, which is end with an ask. I actually have 2. So the first ask is I'm going to ask everyone here to listen to these pitches and think how you can support them. Share some feedback, ask some honest questions. If you can make a connection, make a connection. This is really important for these early stage founders. Second of all, I suspect that we're not going to be able to solve climate change with 8 ventures. And that's why we're bringing 2 more cohorts later in the summer. Here we have one cohort that is building climate resilience in Latin America and the Caribbean, and another one in Sub-Saharan Africa. We're going to have events, not exactly like this, but similar to this, where we're going to be bringing these founders to here and connecting with our community. So if you can, please come visit us again, get to see and meet a new group of founders. These are going to be on July 9th for the Latin American and the Caribbean group, and July 30th for the Sub-Saharan Africa group. So we will be sending you invites, and I apologize in advance for flooding your inboxes, but this is really important in helping these entrepreneurs. Now, without further ado, I would like to introduce the first fellow to the stage. Being a successful entrepreneur is a little bit of art and a little bit of science. So I want to introduce you to someone who not only knows the data, but is also an amazing artist. So please put your hands together for Tara Gupta.
Hello, hello. Thank you all for coming out today, and I'm so excited to get to talk to you today. So I'm going to be introducing Map Collective today, which is a revolutionary AI startup that is really changing the way that we think about resources, global resource transparency and tracking, and that means for us, automotive supply chains. As some of you may know, the auto industry has contended with some serious supply chain challenges post-pandemic. We saw breakages that prevented them from getting product to market, basically disrupting their whole business, making sure that, impacting revenue that was coming in. We see restructuring now to include battery sourcing with the pressures of electrification right on the heels of that. And we see new environmental and forced labor reporting requirements, which is putting huge compliance pressure on these companies. Yet, amidst all of this, they don't have any supply chain traceability. So some of our customers, like Tata Motors, might know who their tier 1 supplier is, so they'll know who they're buying from. But they won't know who their tier 2, tier 3, tier 4 is, all the way down to the raw material. And this is increasingly important because there is a huge amount of risk associated with not knowing this. There is compliance risk, there is financial risk, but there's also environmental risk. We're seeing that supply chain emissions account for 80% of industrial greenhouse gas emissions. And so if you're calculating carbon footprints for a company and you're not including supply chain in the picture, you're missing a majority of that footprint. We've developed a proprietary generative AI solution to discover that supply chain transparency for these organizations, end to end, all the way down to the raw material, so that they can understand, using all these different data sources, what's going on in their supply chain. We've been backed by the National Science Foundation in our research, and we've incorporated key technologies like AI and a distributed ledger technology called IOTA protocol. We interpret these into several SaaS packages, which are integrated. They can work with each other. So some of these include our traceability toolkit, emissions, procurement, biodiversity, and we're doing this at a fraction of the cost of our competitors. So our competitors may be selling one toolkit, just carbon emissions, at $1 million per toolkit, or sometimes even $2.5 million per toolkit. And we're giving our enterprise customers, multi-billion-dollar companies, the opportunity to integrate 4 different toolkits at $250K per year each, still making an enormous profit. Our competitors are also offering a product that is not as advanced as ours. We're seeing that they're covering mostly 40% of the supply chain data because they're relying primarily on trade data, whereas we fill in the rest of the data gaps, that 60% data gap, with our proprietary AI model. We've seen that this is working for our customers. We've seen this in practice through validation pilots, and we have huge potential for growth. Our market has room for multiple unicorns at $37 billion and growing. And we've seen the traction that validates this. We've already gotten $2.5 million in committed revenue for this year, with each of those contracts having a promise or an intention to renew for the following year already. And we have a driven leadership team that has each led sub-teams already and is ready to scale this through an integrated practice that we've all worked together through the National Science Foundation grant and are already anticipating what it'll look like for our roles to change as we start to scale this business up rapidly. Here we have the opportunity to de-risk global automotive supply chains by over $3.5 trillion. It's a crazy amount of economic impact that we're having. And we have the opportunity to decarbonize the auto supply chain, meaning decarbonize the auto industry, which accounts for 1 trillion tons of carbon in the atmosphere every year. So now we're looking for warm introductions. Our beachhead is auto, but we are quickly moving into consumer goods, federal government buyers, apparel, and food and bev. And we're looking for introductions for our Series A raise, which we will begin in the fall. So thank you so much. I hope you find me back at my table, and I'm happy to geek out on some of the nerdy details of the AI model or the IOTA protocol model. And I hope that you reach out with any support and that we can work towards a cooler planet together. So now I'd like to introduce a founder that I've gotten to know over the program who is an amazing entrepreneur, but also an amazing humanitarian through his work, an amazing father, and known to all of us as the ambassador of light, Camilo.
Thank you, Tara. Fantastic. Welcome, everyone. Today, I stand before you with a vision of empowerment and transformation. I'm here to share with you a project that is not just about bringing light to the darkness, but about illuminating pathways to a brighter future for those who need it most. Imagine a world where digital poverty and lack of energy don't define the destiny of communities, but rather serve as catalysis for innovation and progress. This is the world that Lito envisions, and this is the world that we are actively working to create. At Lito, we believe in the power of three fundamental tools to overcoming poverty: energy, light, and internet. These tools are not just solutions. They have the potential to revolutionize the lives of millions living in extreme poverty and conflict zones. We are committed to lighting up public spaces with a solar street light called ELISA, built with materials available in any market, like plastic or glass bottles. This ensures that communities are safe, vibrant, and connected, even after the sun sets, ensuring safe communities for women and girls. We can install up to 100 ELISAs per day, and have installed more than 7,000 units to date. From Boston city streets to remote rural village, our solar street lights have brought light to 35 countries and more than 500 communities, with a profit of $2 million since 2021. Our energy systems ensure that communities have access to essential appliances, like TV, lanterns, or fans. And finally, we come to the internet, the gateway to knowledge, opportunity, and empowerment. We are bridging the digital divide and providing communities with access to the vast resource of the online world. From online education and healthcare to entrepreneurship and skills training, the internet is opening doors and expanding horizons for all. Our journey began with a $25 loan. We dreamed big and strive to run along giants. This dream led us to show a TV commercial with the fastest man in the world, Usain Bolt, and with the best tennis player in the world, Serena Williams. That moment brought us our first $1 million. Being side by side with the 500 most influential people in Latin America, as recognized by Bloomberg, let us know that we were on the right track. Their support and belief in our mission fueled our determination and our success. As we continue to expand and reach our impact, we have learned that a successful growth strategy will be through franchising in Latin America and Africa. This region represents vast opportunities for solar energy solutions. The market for solar energy in Latin America is expected to reach $28 billion by 2027, while in Africa is projected to grow to $8 billion by 2024. By creating franchise opportunities, we aim to empower local entrepreneurs, create jobs, and ensure sustainable development in these regions. We are here today not just to share our story, but to invite you to be part of this transformative journey. The global market for renewable energy and connectivity is booming, and the potential for impactful investment is enormous. By investing in Lito, you are not just funding a project, you are investing in a future where darkness and poverty are turned into opportunities for innovation and growth. To achieve our ambition goals, We seek the support of experienced consultants and advisors who can guide us through the franchising process and help us navigate the unique challenge to expanding in Latin America and other regions. Your expertise can help us to scale our solution, reach more communities, and create a brighter and more connected world. My name is Camilo Herrera, and I am the ambassador of light and founder of Lito de Luz. Together, we can bring light to the darkest corners of the world and build a brighter tomorrow for all. Join us in our purpose to be the light for the world. Thank you. Now, with all of us, the Dr. Raha Seremi, an amazing woman, courageous mom, and exciting scientific, the Dr. Raha, please.
Thank you, Camilo. Hi, everyone. My name is Raha Seremi. I am the founder and CEO of Ecotex. I have worked as a polymer and textile scientist for over 10 years, and I've gained a full understanding of environmental issues within the textile industry, including heavy reliance on toxic chemicals, leading to considerable pollution and waste. These insights motivated me to found Ecotex. Imagine a world where a textile industry notorious for environmental degradation becomes a beacon of sustainability. At Ecotex, we are making that vision a reality by transforming agricultural waste into sustainable textiles. Animal and synthetic leather productions are extremely damaging to the environment. Animal leather production alone is responsible for 10% of all global carbon emissions, more than international flight and shipping combined. Even vegan leather, because they are made of polyurethane, they have a significant carbon footprint and they release microplastic to the environment. 62% of clothes made worldwide are synthetic. They are made of plastic, they release microplastic to the environment, and they use enormous amount of energy. Even natural fibers like cotton, they require excessive amount of water and pesticides. We developed a zero-waste patent-pending process to transform agricultural waste into sustainable leather alternatives. We use non-toxic chemicals and green chemistry to do that. Our products are biodegradable, meaning that at the end of the life cycle, we can make new products out of them. We also created a circular system, a closed-loop system, to make biodegradable fibers and yarns using non-toxic chemicals and nanomaterials. The leather goods market is enormous. It is around $219 billion. And the market for leather alternative is also growing. It's around $650 million. And so many brands like Lululemon, Stella McCartney, even H&M, they are already using bio-based leather alternative in their products from startups like us. This presents a great opportunity for Ecotex. Global fiber market is also huge. It's around $132 billion, and our serviceable obtainable market is around $27 billion. Compared to our competitors, our products, they are greener and more sustainable, and one of the key advantages is our production efficiency. We can make a sheet of leather in 4 hours compared to some of our competitors, and they need 2 weeks to grow a sheet of leather. In addition to that, our products have high quality and they are cost effective. Our biodegradable fibers and yarns also, we can produce them quickly. In addition to that, they are cost effective, and our process can reduce water, energy use, greenhouse gases, carbon emissions, and waste production. Our business model starts with us sourcing our raw material from local farmers in Georgia. We make products and sell them to manufacturers, brands, and consumers. We started in 2022 working on leather alternative and biodegradable fibers and yarns. We so far received non-dilutive funding from USDA and NSF, and we plan to go for pilot production in 2025 and larger scale production and brand partnerships by 2026. Our leadership team has extensive experience in business, product development, sustainable practices. And so far, we have received only non-dilutive funding up to $400K, and we are planning to raise seed funding of $1 million to go for our pilot productions and bring our products to market. We are also looking to expand our advisory board, and we are looking for warm introductions to brands and manufacturers. Thank you. Let's create a more sustainable future together. Now, please join me in welcoming a good friend of mine who is also a technical founder and a great father, Jose Martini, to the stage.
Thank you, Braha. So good evening, everyone. I'm quite sure that this morning, when you brushed your teeth, you didn't think about where the clean water from your faucet came from. But most of you would be surprised to learn that the water we drink, we cook with, or we bathe in, uses very, very old school technology. My name is Jose Martini, and after working 10 years in the chemical industry for providing chemicals for water treatment, I realized that the water treatment is very far from the Industry 4.0 or digital revolution. Is so outdated, the facilities are so outdated that are very prone to human error and usually prone to health issues, also increasing the cost of water production and leaving behind a large environmental footprint. So at the end, our clean water might not be so sustainable. Well, I'm not getting too technical, but water treatment is very complex. Raw water varies over time, the quality varies over time, so it needs experienced operators to make the water treatment correct and the right dosage for it. And also the facilities are built to last decades. This means that technology is always playing catch up. So how can we solve for that? Well, we can use AI and IoT as enabling technologies. As AI emulates human experience and human behavior, IoT can retrofit virtually any facility to a new model, to a more efficient model. So our unique solution combines these technologies and can retrofit virtually any facility regardless of size and age to the digital revolution. So what is our business model? We provide everything as a platform as a service with the hardware, with intelligence 24/7. So data is there for anyone who needs it anytime, and also customer service, given that reliability is key for water treatment. So our customers can experience up to 25% in savings in chemicals. They can also minimize their sludge and also unlock other operational efficiencies. Our competitors are usually sensor manufacturers that gather data but lack automation capabilities, and system integrators that use the sensors to integrate the data but don't have the intelligence. Some digital twins that can use the intelligence of sensors and system integrators but lack the intelligence and automation capabilities that we can provide. The digital market for water is huge and expanding, 18 billion just in the US, and we have like more than 10,000 potential customers in the country. We can also expand our operations to water-intense companies such as food and beverage, and also go for sewage and wastewater treatment. We have been validating our solution in 5 different facilities across Brazil with an important partner, basically funded with more than $200K in government grants. We have a product team of experts in electronics, in hardware, and engineering, data science, and development. And also our founders are experienced in B2B markets and B2G markets, which is very important when we are selling to government. We're looking for partnerships in the sanitation space for pilots here in the US, and also access to investors for the next rounds that we are going to have further in this year. So once again, my name is Jose Martini. I'm the CTO of Conatos Environmental Technologies, and I would like to invite you to join us in the digital revolution of the sanitation industry. Thank you. And now I would like to invite you a very good friend of ours that has been with us since the beginning of the program. She's not only a farmer, she's a banker as well, and she's revolutionizing agriculture in Africa. Madeline.
Good evening everyone. So my name is Madeline, co-founder of Adapter Earth, and I'm based in Nairobi, Kenya. Now, 4 years ago, I walked out of a pretty premium, plush and comfortable job, and I left to form Adapter, and I'll tell you why. Now, I was leading SMEs for 10 markets in Africa, and I hated to lend to the agri-sector. I'm a farmer, so that's a paradox. The problem that I faced as a banker is a global problem. It's everywhere, climate change. And food systems are declining by 25% each year in arable land productivity. Yet against that is a backdrop of $1 trillion needed for this sector to adapt to climate change. That's me at my farm. I struggled with this for many years. That's a banana plantation. I wouldn't even lend to me, despite growing very senior in the bank, creating products and policies to address a sector that only led to losses. Up to 50% of the books I managed ended up in non-performing loans. And you cannot just imagine the high cost to manage my staff across regions, spending time going to farms with very little knowledge, up to 3 visits before lending, coming back, using money, using high cost, only for that book to end up as stressed. The opportunity to affect this sector is really huge. Now, there's 2 billion acres out of 5 billion in the markets we are targeting in North America, Central America, as well as Africa. There's a huge opportunity to actually turn land into climate adaptation mechanisms if only bankers would lend. Now, out of the money that bankers use to actually manage this sector, we see a big opportunity, market opportunity of up to $47 billion. You might ask yourself, why would a bank pay for this? Now, we are bankers, speaking to bankers. We know the language. We have within our team, and I'll introduce that, people who understand the agri-sector. So when we face bankers, we are talking their language, and we are talking about resilience of farmers. That's my product, to the right, to your right. And I've known the benefit of climate resilience and the income impact of that when farmers are able to be resilient, but backed by a very strong capital market. But bankers may not want to do this if it's too much high cost. And so Adapter comes in with the Adapter Climate Score. Now, what are we doing? I'll tell you how it works. But it's really an evaluation of data and insights that combine together to create a mathematical score that gives the banker an early mitigation approach while they lend to the farmer. So we are bringing knowledge to bankers from a very informed perspective. So the risk mechanisms will look at the optimal conditions, factors, indexes, pillars that come together to produce crop at its best. Now this score, as you can see, is specific to actual farm location. So within minutes, actually seconds, a banker on their desktop is able to key in the crop or livestock if they are faced with by a farmer. And then they ask the actual location, latitude, longitude, we polygon the farm. We are able to drill down and actually speak to the farmer as, now I'm talking about bankers. Bankers are able to speak to the farmer, the lenders, the loan officer is able to speak to the farmer in a language that the farmer can interpret. Now, this core also comes with a climate adaptation plan that actually the banker or the lender offers the farmer by way of mitigating risk while lending. Now, we get great support, and we've enjoyed great support and backup, significant support from big names. And we were able to actually, with a private lender's license in the Kenya market, lend to up to 10 projects, which are performing very well. And we've gotten revenue across 2.5 years. Right now, we are aiming, and as of today, we are on track to deliver revenue from microfinance institutions, from credit unions that really represent the smallholder farmers, as well as large tier 1 regional banks. We are still amazed at how much this tool has gathered a lot of interest from across the spectrum of financial institutions. Now, the impact out of the projects that we lend to, and they're performing quite well, at least 9 out of 10, we have 50,000 acres under climate smart agriculture as we speak. And we have seen 25,000 farmers benefiting from that. The team comprises of people with background in finance. Haman, an alumni of the celebrated IMD Business School in Switzerland, as well as an IFC veteran. Myself, I'm doing a master's thesis on climate smart agriculture at Strathmore University. And my farm, Farm to Kitchen, is a model of how that has an impact on livelihoods of smallholder farmers. Mercy has worked for 10 years in the biggest agri-lender institution in the region. And Susan is a person we are really proud of. She's our agronomist, and she's a fellow, an Africa Food Fellow at the famous Wageningen University. What is our ask today? And I'd like to speak to as many of us as possible after this, because I'm inviting you to actually help us enter this market. There's much more opportunity than there is where we've been, LATAM and Africa. We see a lot of opportunity here. If only we can get the tech support to continue building very intelligent tools by continuous improvement, when we also get introduced to banking, financial institutions that can test and give us feedback on the tool adapted to this market. We also want to produce the full range product suite, because post-lending, bankers still need to visit farms every 3 months, and that's high cost to the bank. Our market positioning is among the greats. Now, these are global credit rating agencies, but we are bold enough to say this idea that we have now a concept and now in actualization is actually adding a layer of farm risk. Apart from the traditional assess the farmer or assess the individual, we are adding a layer of assessing crop and specific livestock in a farm location. And the two combine, and a banker is able to lend sustainably. I've enjoyed a measure of success as a farmer. To a certain level, I can grow even more successful. And I'm speaking for smallholder farmers as well. So I'm asking you to join me in this transformative mission of unlocking capital to agriculture. Thank you so much. Thank you. And now it's my joy to invite who I consider to be a modern-day genius. We've spent time in the Halcyon kitchen cooking. He loves to cook, but he knows robots like the back of his hand. Himats.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. Thank you, Madeline. My name is Himmat. I am CEO and founder of Photon Technology. So I would like to start with a fact. Do you know solar energy is the fastest growing energy source as of now in the world? And solar energy loses efficiency by 35% over a month if we do not clean the panel on time. Yeah. To clean the panels, people are using labor and water. And in that way, they are using excessive amount of water, let's say 180,000 liter water per megawatt per year. And still they are incurring around 30% of the O&M cost in cleaning. And if the water is not fully treated, in that scenario, it can ultimately kill the panel. Let's take the example of India, where we are having 85 gigawatt of solar plants as of now, and people are using 100 billion liter water every year to clean the panels only. I myself belong from arid zone of India, Rajasthan, where I've seen a problem of energy and water from my childhood. So now we have to choose like energy or water, and there's no option, I think. We should go with both. To solve this problem at Photon Technology, we have developed a robotic cleaning system that can clean the panels without using any kind of chemical and water, and also with the 99% of efficiency. Our robots are fully autonomous, which can be controlled from a web dashboard, and they are saving huge amount of water and the money for the solar plants. So we are helping solar photovoltaic plants in increasing their efficiency, reducing their cost in the operation and maintenance by 30%, also by saving the water in the cleaning which they are wasting right now. The market size for this product is around 6.1 billion globally, and we are targeting the beachhead market, which is India. It is 830 million in the monetary value and 85 gigawatt in the solar installation capacity. The market in India is growing with more than 20% CAGR as of now. There are two business models which we are working with. The first one is the product sell, in which we are selling the product to the customers and they are owning it. Second one is the OpEx installation, in which we are providing cleaning as a service in the long-term contract to the customers. So there are some competitor companies in this domain, and we are having our competitive edge in terms of the product innovation, in terms of the customization and the customer services. The key differentiators which we are having our product is inspection system along with the cleaning. So what we can do, we can tell the health of the panel to the customer along with the cleaning of panels. And we are also providing geography-specific cleaning mechanism to each and every plant where we are working with. So as of now, we are working with 19 plants in 5 states of India with 3 big utility companies. And we are having our gross revenue of 328K so far, and that is just proof of concept revenue we are having. Once we will go with the bigger order, it will be at least 1 million per customer. So along with the economic and business impact and the values, we are also contributing in the UN SDG goals 7 and 13 by saving drinkable water by 540 million liters every year, and by offsetting the carbon footprint by 70,000 tons. To accomplish this mission, this vision and the goals, we are having a team of 13 people, and out of that we are 5 people in the core roles. And as a team, we are having our mission like we will save 1.9 billion liters water every year from the year 2025, and we will be offsetting the carbon footprint of 300,000 tons from the year 2025. To scale and accelerate our impact and the growth, we are raising 1.5 million seed round, and that we will be utilizing in the capacity building, in doing global pilot, in sales and marketing, and also in the launching our service model. With this fund, we are having milestone like we will reach to the ARR of 5 million by the end of June 25. And along with that, we are also expanding in the US market. So that's what we require, like if we can have some partners and distribution partners, sales partners here, that would be a great help and great economic and business values along with that. So here I would like to invite all of you to stay with us. Let's keep the sun shining, and that's what we are doing at Photon Technologies. Thank you. Yeah, so in the next round, I would like to invite the only friend of mine whose company has featured in the Times Square so far. And she's a great networker, and she is taking Foodware to everywhere with her co-founder, Ignace. So please welcome Romina. Thank you.
Thank you, Imad. Hi, everyone. My name is Romina, and I'm the co-founder of Foodware. And I'm very excited to be here with all of you today. So let's talk about something that we all love, which is food and convenience. You're tired, so you go grab a Starbucks, or you don't feel like cooking, so you order takeout. But what happens to all the food packaging that food often comes in, and why is this a problem? If you think for a moment about a corporate campus such as Google, where there are thousands of employees eating thousands of meals every single day, they're going through thousands of single-use food packaging containers. Now, these program coordinators are spending thousands of dollars every single year on plastic or compostable packaging that doesn't meet the needs, quality, and the experience that they're looking for. And this is a massive problem that we need to tackle today. We're generating 500 million tons of single-use packaging every year in the US alone. And if you think recycling is effective, it turns out only 9% of plastic ever produced has been recycled.
But just like you and I, large institutions care about their wallets, and they're spending $30 billion every single year on disposable food packaging. As a result, large institutions are increasingly seeking for a truly sustainable solution that can cut down their costs, create a competitive food program, and meet their sustainability goals. Now, to support them, Foodware is empowering corporates and universities so they can reach their zero waste and net zero goals by leveraging a track and tracing technology so we can enable a scalable reuse system. This way, individuals can grab their next meal or coffee in a reusable container or cup. The organization can then continue to track the impact that they're achieved and make their operations more efficient. The way that it works in a corporate cafeteria is you'll go grab a meal that is served in a reusable container. You scan the individual QR code located on that container, you enjoy your meal, and then you return a reusable container within a specific window of time. Once returned, this QR code gets scanned again, and that's how we're able to capture circularity data. During this window, we'll also send reminders and we'll charge a deposit if not returned. For businesses, this means they can effectively meet their Scope 3 emission reduction goals and report on the impact achieved with our live sustainability dashboard. Now, for businesses, we offer two different models. They can choose between a subscription as well as a plug-and-play model. With a subscription, it's based on the reusable items they want to have every single month, whereas if they have their own packaging, then we can power their own reuse system using our technology tools. For a corporate campus such as Google that house many locations all across the US and abroad, the opportunity per location is anywhere from $50,000 to $100,000 every single year. Our current target includes corporate cafeterias as well as university with dining halls that have strong sustainability goals. And they're increasingly seeing the need for solutions such as ours, including some of the biggest financial institutions that have told us this is exactly what they've been looking for. The market opportunity for these channels alone is $50 billion worldwide. Now, beyond food service, our vision is to power the circular economy using our software in other industries such as supply chain, logistics, and product passports. Universities such as UC Berkeley have been using our service for over 2 years now, and we're trusted by organizations such as PepsiCo. We're also partnering with 4 of the largest food service companies that operate 95% of the market, so we can reach the entire $50 billion market in the US. These food service companies currently serve as the direct channel for us to reach our current customers, but they're also going to be a larger customer for us in the long run. We have also received over $200,000 in grants so far, which has allowed us to acquire 8 paying B2B customers in the Bay Area and in the East Coast. Most recently, we were invited to be a board member in one of the largest industry organizations in the space, and we're also excited to share that we have, in the next few months, starting pilots with 2 of the largest financial institutions in the world. Now, I experienced the problem firsthand working in food service and dealing with food packaging waste as well as all the expenses that came with it on a daily basis. My co-founder knows how to build technology solutions inside and out as a second-time founder with a successful exit, and we have a rockstar team of advisors that are helping us disrupt the market. There are a few competitors in the space trying to tackle a similar issue with the primary focus on the infrastructure. We know our strength lies in technology, and that is why we were the first in the market to capture circularity data. What makes us different from current alternatives is our ability to leverage technology so we can achieve 99% in return rates and being able to deliver a convenient and a seamless experience. To power reusable systems across all corporate and university campuses, we are looking for angel investors today for pilot deployments and to grow our team so we can be the leaders in the circular economy. We're always on the lookout for corporate campuses as well as universities that are looking to deploy our solution. So if you know anyone in these spaces, we would love to talk to them. Thank you, and we invite you to join us in the reuse revolution. And now please welcome Daniel Cano, someone who wants to change the world and will not stop even if being told no. He's an amazing entrepreneur and a great friend. So.
Let's picture a world where we can transform industrial carbon emissions into valuable chemicals and fuels. We already know that carbon emissions are the ones that are causing global warming and climate change. And the past few days have been one of the hottest days of the year. That's pretty crazy, right? But I'm going to tell you a story. Well, our story began with Back to the Future, where Doc Brown uses garbage as fuel for the DeLorean. This idea was always stuck on me since I was a kid. And I always wondered, how can we transform something that is not valuable, like air garbage, into something valuable? Well, it turns out that we can. And actually, this is one of the substances that we can produce from CO2. This is ethanol. It's drinkable. My name is Daniel Cano, and I am the CEO and founder of Carbon Power Mexico. The past 5 years, I've been dedicating my life into developing and working on technologies that are transforming carbon emissions into valuable substances. The global carbon emissions that are coming from different industries, and that's only like a small number, are creating more than 11 billion metric tons of carbon dioxide each year. And what would happen if we transformed these carbon emissions into valuable substances? We'll be looking into a market that is $500 billion of size. That's huge. It's a huge opportunity to start making money from something that is making just worse our world. Our solution is air mining technology. We are creating models, equipment that can capture the carbon emissions coming directly from the outlets of factories and transform this into valuable substances for other markets. We can produce ethanol, ethylene, formic acid with an incredible and increasing demand on these substances each year. Our first target market is the ceramic industry, with more than 2,000 factories around Mexico, and with an average requirement of our equipment of 5 units per company. This is a $12 billion market opportunity whose no one else is working in. Nobody is thinking about to decarbonize the ceramic industry market. Our first proof of concept, and here you can see one of our Sally units, was with a ceramic plant called C. Orozco that is located in the state of Mexico, with a capacity to reduce 3,365 metric tons of carbon dioxide each year and transform these carbon emissions into valuable substances. Our business model is simple. We sell the byproducts that we can produce from these companies. We lease their equipment, and then we sell the carbon credits. We have some traction in early adopters. We have a strong pipeline, not only in the ceramic industry, but in the concrete industry, in the oil and gas industry, and other potential clients like Nivea that are looking to buy from us everything that we produce from carbon neutral substances. These organizations and companies have already trusted us, and some of them have already put some money to start working with us too. Our go-to-market situation now, we're raising $1.5 million to scale up our production and then get to the demand that some of the companies are already asking from us, but we cannot produce that. So it's a happy problem. We already know how to do it, but we need to make more. So with this money, we'll deploy 10 Sally units, and we'll get to 1.5 on revenue in between 1 and 2 years. We'd have a potential sales of $300,000 per year and $20,000 on carbon credits. Our team is a group of expert researchers that are one of the most cited in the matter of carbon capture and also electrochemistry. And some of us have experience on business side and corporative companies. I'm inviting you, and we are looking for investors that want to change the world by transforming what is already getting us this awful climate, and also start making partnerships with companies that want to remove their carbon emissions permanently with our solution. Once again, my name is Daniel Cano, and we are the root solution to industrial pollution. Thank you very much. And now, let me introduce you to a great friend, a good father, I presume. And he is. And the director of the program, the residential program, Adam Kaplan. Give it a go.
Thank you, Danielle. And thanks to all the fellows for your inspiring presentations today, as well as all the support you've given each other throughout these last 8 weeks. You've taught the Halcyon team so much about innovations in climate tech, the markets you're disrupting, and the lives you're impacting along the way. It was clear from the start of this program, even before the start, in fact, that this was not going to be a typical cohort. Danielle and Camilo were the first to arrive, and rather than unpack their suitcases or catch up on rest, they attended a gala for a local nonprofit. How very DC of them, going local already. where they unknowingly met and took photos with a member of the Halcyon board, also very DC. The first time we all gathered together, Tara brought animal tarot cards and gave everyone a reading, tapping into the energy that each fellow was bringing to this house and to this group. Again, not a typical cohort. There's such a range of personalities and life experiences in this crew, which explains the unique and diverse businesses they've built to address the impacts of the climate crisis from different angles. For those of us who don't work or live on the front lines of climate change every day, the crisis can at times feel quite distant. But as we prepared to welcome this first residential climate cohort to Halcyon House, the emergency hit very close to home. Our program director, Marcelo, who would otherwise be very involved with many of the orientation activities, was conspicuously absent, as he was stranded in his hometown of Porto Alegre, Brazil, due to catastrophic floods that were devastating the region. The photos that Marcelo shared were a powerful reminder of the millions who fight daily against the effects of intensifying temperatures and storms and the escalating ripple effects that these have on livelihoods and communities. The eerie timing drove home the gravity of the moment and the urgency of the movement. I want to thank the sponsors of this climate fellowship, Deloitte and Amazon Web Services, for the many contributions you've made to this program and to Halcyon over many years. Thanks to Carolyn Vigil for her remarks today, and to the AWS team for connecting our fellows with computing services and technical assistance to scale their ventures. And thanks to Joe Singh and the Deloitte team for the valuable consulting projects they delivered for each fellow. Thank you as well to all the talented presenters, advisors, and leadership coaches who generously shared so much time and expertise with the entire cohort. And a special thanks on that front to Helen Manich, who cohort after cohort goes above and beyond, working as an advisor to every single fellow. Every single fellow. I'd also like to thank the entire Halcyon team for all their work in making this program a success, from selecting the fellows, to documenting and promoting their stories, to planning events like this one that bring our community together. I particularly want to thank Emily Owen for her outstanding work in leading this program with me. I could not have done this without your creativity and intellect, and we're all better off for having you here. Marcelo mentioned 2 upcoming climate fellowships that will have DC residencies this summer. One for founders from Latin America and the Caribbean, and another for those from Sub-Saharan Africa. There will be opportunities throughout July to engage with these founders, and if you'd like to learn more about these upcoming programs, please come find Mercy or Maya from the intensives team after we're done. This is a truly special group of founders, and I'm honored to call each one of you friends. Even more than that, I'm honored to have witnessed the profoundly deep bonds you've all built with each other in an incredibly short amount of time. There's no shortage of fun stories about this cast of characters, but I'll stop standing between you all and drinks and food, and I'll encourage our guests to experience the honor that we at Halcyon have had of getting to know this outstanding collection of founders. Thank you all for coming, and enjoy the rest of the event.